Yeah, so yeah, in this video I want to talk about uh, my my speculation for what will happen after the war in One Piece with the Revolutionary Army and the world government and the Marine, and obviously their allies, because probably the world government probably gonna pay the German kingdom to work for them, build them some kind of new fine type of weapons like cybernetic weapons. And the revolutionary are gonna have some other allies. I don't know what kind of ally the revolutionary army will have. But here is the interesting part. Like, I know that many people like the Blackbeard Pirates. I actually do. I really like some of the members. But if the Blackbeard Pirates win, or they, so long the world government is in place, so long you have them, the world government, you're still gonna have the same, some type of the same world. You're still gonna have the slave trade. You're still gonna have the discrimination of the fish people. So the only thing that will change the One Piece world is if the world government is turned down and there's a new world, new revolutionary regime in the One Piece world. So, for example, we say that Monkey Luffy and his allies and the Blackbeard Pirates and their allies fight each other, and our main hero defeat Blackbeard and so on. What will they gonna still be the same world? It's not gonna be any different, because Blackbeard don't rule anything. He only rules his crew. He maybe have a big crew, but they are not comparable to the power of the world government. The world government have allies around the world. They have a big army, they have a big military factory. So this is what I'm wondering here. Will the revolutionary army be a total different power if they win over the world government? Or will they be exactly the same in the long term of their ruling power? Because you have to understand, many of the people in the revolutionary army are people that was slaves and was poor people, was oppressed of the world government. So why wondering here, will they don't seek revenge against the people that oppressed them and do the same thing to them as they was put to when they were under the world government's control? So this is the interesting thing here with the world government and the revolutionary army, is that the revolutionary army can be exactly the same as the world government. The only difference is here right now is that the world government have more money than the revolutionary army, and the world government are more accepted of the society, because the people of society have no choice to accept them, because they have finer clothing, they have more money, they have allies with lots of high-tech firepower. But if the revolutionary army defeat the world government, that means their enemy is gonna be the new emperors, or people that are gonna try to oppose them. Because if you take over some power, you don't want to lose the power just 1 or 2 weeks later. You're gonna want to rule the world, rule that your power place for a very long time. And so this is what always when I think back about the revolutionary, I always think with back to the Rocks Pirates, and the Rocks Pirates were also a group, specifically Rock D. Sebec and Monkey D. Dragon. My speculation is they are connected in some way, maybe father and son, or they are the same person. I don't know. I just speculate here. But the interesting thing here that the Rocks, Dragon, both of them are very similar in some sense and different. The similarity here is that both of them really despise the celestial dragons, and both of them really want to defeat them. That is the main purpose of the revolutionary army, was to defeat dragon. And I understand the dragons is probably the most evil characters of them all, probably more evil even than Blackbeard. So if I say it like this, if the normal people in the One Piece world have a choice, they are ruled with the Blackbeard Pirates rule them, or the dragons rule them, or sorry, the celestial dragons rule them. I promise you, almost all of the people gonna choose the Blackbeard Pirates over the celestial dragons, because the Blackbeard Pirates don't enslave people. Maybe they kill in horrific ways, but they are not racist. They are not overpower rich people. They are evil. Okay, Blackbeard Pirates are evil, but they are evil in a way that is acceptable in some way. But the celestial dragons are just extremely evil, and they are not acceptable evil. They are corrupt evil. So for me personally, obviously I always gonna choose the Blackbeard Pirates because they are more humane in some ways, incomparable to the celestial dragon. Every emperor, every pirate crew is humane in comparison to the celestial dragons. In every shape of the world, they are more humane. So here is the interesting thing. So if we have the Revolutionary Army, they defeat the world government, they kill all the celestial dragons. We're gonna get a new era of the world of One Piece. But then, what will happen then? After that, will all the normal Marines, will they be forgiven, or will all of them be executed of the new military power? And all of these kind of things. So this is what I think is interesting, because if the world government fall, then we're gonna have a different situation. But the Revolutionary Army also are sometimes against other pirates. So when they have overthrow that kind of power, will they not try to attack other types of power, for example the emperors, and this kind of thing? So I think personally is the complicated thing here, is that we most of the time we only focusing on the pirates. We don't focusing on the aftermath of the situation of the conflict in the One Piece world. We don't see different rule system. We have the sea, we have the fish people, we have people in the sky, we have space, and obviously space have totally different rules because they are not ruled of the world government. So we not yet. Maybe they are, because the celestial dragons are aliens. So this is very interesting here. So lots of the ancient kingdom, Monkey D. Dragon, is all of them are in some ways the same background in some ways, but they lose some of their power. So obviously Monkey D. Dragon obviously want to have back his power again, so it's not going to be a difference. So for example, if he takes the power, he gonna be probably like the world government, like Celestial Dragons, because then he have the power, and maybe he just use his Revolutionary Army team because he have to have them because of his own benefit, because of his own purpose. So I think Monkey D. Dragon are probably have a different agenda than many of the other Revolutionary Army members. I think he have a more revenge type of agenda against the Celestial Dragons, because the Celestial Dragon was the purpose to defeat the Ancient Kingdom, and I think Monkey D. Dragon have some connection in some ways to the Ancient Kingdom. I don't know exactly how, but some kind of connection. So it's probably because he loses his kingdom, and obviously this Revolutionary Army's main enemy is obviously the world government. But it looks that most of the people that work with the work with the world government and the people that work with the Revolutionary Army are people that come from different types of life, rich and poor, the slave owners and the slave. So this is the thing here, that lots of the power vacuum will be open if the world government fall, because then the emperors want to try to take more power, go farther out on the ocean. Then the Revolutionary Army have to fight some of the emperors. But this is the thing here, because world government are okay. The celestial dragons are evil. The world government are evil in some way, but they also have to protect the normal people that are not powerful beasts or have superpower, and just normal people, because it's very. I think it's a bit complicated with the end term of One Piece, because I don't see. If, for example, Monk D. Luffy, he find One Piece, and I don't know what One Piece is, but he finds something that is One Piece. Will he just sail away with his crew, and then the story is end? What will happen to the rest of the One Piece world? And this is the most interesting. I think One Piece absolutely is interesting in some way, but it's for me personally not as interesting to what will happen to the world of One Piece. Will we see a new regime? Will we gonna have the same regime? Do we still gonna have the world government and the Revolutionary Army fighting? Do we now? We have to have some seclusion to the battle between the Revolutionary Army and the world government. And what I really want to see, that's what I personally want to see, is to see the Revolutionary Army rule, and to see how they rule in comparison to the world government. Because it's not, for me personally, that is also again my personal opinion, I don't think it's satisfying to see just they find some kind of thing and then the stories end. I really want to see some change, like big change to the One Piece world. I think obviously Monk D. Luffy is not. His father is a leader. Monk D. Luffy is also a leader, but he's not that kind of type. He's a leader for friends. He's not an army leader. He don't have a big army behind him. But it's a possibility here that Monk D. Luffy maybe is not going to be the king of the pirate, or Monk D. Luffy is instead going to be the leader of the Revolutionary Army, take after his father. It's also a possibility. That is also cool if he was going to be the revolutionary leader instead. But maybe it's not. I know this is going to sound a bit silly right now, but for example, if you say that his father is turned to be the main evil guy in the story, and he have to build in the end, he have to build a new revolutionary army against the old revolutionary army to start again the cycle between the revolutionary army and the world government. But it's a possibility that here the revolutionary army, then all the revolutionary right now are going to be the new world government, and then we're going to have a new revolutionary army fight against the old revolutionary that is currently the world government. Because we don't know really the backstory, for example, about the five elders. We don't know what the world government and how they was before there was the five elders, how they can live them. Are they cybork? Are they pacifistas? Some of the five elders. What is their background? What are they come from originally? Why do one of the guy have a long Dutch sword? And all of them, it's very interesting who they really are. Is they a creation from Vegapunk? Is Vegapunk the creator for the five elders? Are the five elders not even human? Are they just some kind of machines? are other types. For example, Vegapunk and one of the crew members of the Rocks Pirate. Is he one of the before he was a famous person? Was he a member of the Rocks Pirates? But that is the same thing. For example, when we talk about, for example, Queen, and Queen revealed for us that Queen was a member from a specific group of scientists, with Queen, Windsmoke, Vegapunk, and I think Caesar Clown was a member of the scientists, and they make some different kind of weapons. So there's a reason, for example, why Queen have his ice and plague weapons. So that is also very interesting. Obviously, how I think Queen and King and other members of different Emperor's crew and Revolution Army, for example, this is what I mean with why many of the members of the Revolutionary Army are coming from an oppressed background. For example, Koala was a slave, and then joined up with the fish people, then later on joined up with the revolutionary. So Koala was a normal person that learned fishman karate. Sabo come from a rich family, and he really hated, and then he tried to escape, and he was fired on with from Celestial Dragon fired on him because he have Jolly Roger. So obviously all of this is the differences here with it is that many of the members, I cannot say for everyone, but many of the members of the Revolutionary Army come from poor or oppressed backgrounds, and they have all of them have something in common. They really despise the world government for different types of reasons, but they just despise the world government. So this is going to be interesting if they win and they take the power. How will they rule the world, the One Piece world? Will they? And this is what I really want to see. Will they rule the world totally differently from the current world government, or do they later on in time will be similar to the world government? Do we gonna see it, or do we not gonna see it? And this is what I really, because One Piece world is so big. It's so big world with different types of human beings, different types of races, aliens, different types of people and culture, languages, system. So many. You can say like this: One Piece is the modern world version, but in some ways to Lord of the Ring. So, for example, young people that read Lord of the Ring, when Lord of the Ring was released the first time ever, like premieration for Lord of the Ring, we are the new generation of this kind of people. We are the people that read One Piece. One Piece is a different story. It's the different types of people, but it's very similar because we read a story that have a big world as Lord of the Ring. So Lord of the Ring, the books, and One Piece is similar in that sense. They have a big world, but they are extremely different, but they're similar in that sense. So that is very cool to be one of the person like to read this kind of thing. You have to understand that One Piece is a living manga. There is always coming new thing, and the latest chapter will come out today, 1023. I don't know how many chapters we will have, but if you never read One Piece and you want to start to read some kind of manga, I strongly recommend you to read One Piece. I know it's lots of chapters, but it's a super interesting world. It's no other mangas to have that big interesting world as One Piece. Like, you have so much thing in the One Piece world. Is insanity. Is in Gigantica's insanity. How much thing they have. You can watch the anime, but I recommend you to read the manga, because the manga is more, how can I say this without making people extremely angry, that is anime watcher. Okay, the manga are more, explain the characters more. Okay, the manga explains the characters in a way more adventurous, and the anime show them more as they are more easygoing. In the anime, you have to, in some way, you have to think more when you read than when you watch. So I hope I can say this without making people very angry, that is anime watcher. But for example, I know this is a very simplified and stupid comparison, but for example, you have Viola, and you have Viola in the manga. They make her much more. Obviously, this video is for YouTube, so I have to be careful how YouTube is very, right now they're extremely sensitive what you say, but so example that is very much, you have more time to think for yourself in some way when you read the manga, and you start your own speculation, because a book, obviously books with picture give you less opportunity to think for yourself with your own idea in your head, what you see. For example, if you read a book with just text, you in like a historical book or fantasy book, adventure book, you're gonna get your own idea in your head. But if you watch something on the TV screen, you're gonna have the idea of the character you really like because you see the picture of it, but you don't have your own idea in your head. And this is in some way more applied from the animation than it is in the manga. In manga, you have more time to really build your own story from the story and this kind of thing. So yeah, I look forward to do the review for the next chapter when on this day when it's come out. I don't know exactly when, but it's maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. Maybe obviously the different time zone in different region in the world, obviously. So my region in Sweden are different from the time in Miami or the time in Russia. They have different time zone, so obviously it's different when in Europe. But it's because Russia, a big part of Russia belongs to Asia, and the other part of Russia is Europe. But yeah, so you have different. I don't know. Yeah, there's different time zone in different places in the world, and this kind of thing. So that is interesting. So for example, I know because when I buy a video game, especially for NetherRealm Studio, when they download the DLC for Injustice, Mortal Kombat, so they are in LA, and LA, I think 6 o'clock here, and LA is then like 8 o'clock in the morning. So then 8, 9, I think 8, 9, probably, I don't 100% certain, but something around 8, 9. Then they go to work. So then we know that the DLC start to roll out in here. But I don't know exactly. So some typing under the day the chapter will be out. and after I read the chapter, then I can do my review. And obviously, the reason why I never do the review, or I do one time the review on the Japanese version, because I cannot read Japanese. So I want to read before I speak about something, because I want to know what it is. But if you only see, for example, this is what I mean. A picture tells you 100 words, but a picture with a text upgrade the number, how much you can learn from the thing. So if you have there's a reason why lots of the more books in the world right now is just text than picture, is because you can put in so much more thing on the paper with text and just picture. If you're gonna tell as much information with picture as you tell in a book with 6,000 pages, you have to have lots of picture, and there's going to be lots of expensitivity to have pictures, especially if you're gonna picture with colors and so on. Yeah, so I think I have talked enough now. So sometime under this date I will do the review for the new One Piece chapter. And it's gonna, yeah, okay, bye.